Okay, now let's talk about percent grids. And this goes back to some of the activities we've been doing in class. So start by counting the number of total boxes, and that's going to become the denominator because we're always going to relate these to the total. Then you're going to count the number of shaded boxes. And then you can use this information to write a fraction or a percent. And you can always turn a fraction into a decimal, so you might be able to do that too. Well, you always can, but. And then remember, percents are always out of 100, and that's one of the most important things for you to remember from this lesson, because that's going to make it a lot easier. So let's look at two examples. Both of them are 100 grids. So how many total parts? There's 100 total parts. How many are shaded? 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. The fraction is 35 over 100. You can simplify that if you want to, but for the sake of this, I just want the percentage, so it's 35%, because my goal is to get down to the percent. And percents are always out of 100, so I actually didn't even have to turn it into a decimal. So I want you to do the you try. So how many total parts? 100. How many are shaded? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 67. Fraction, 67 out of 100. Percent, 67%. Now let's look at the next example because it gets a little tricky. Because this one's not out of 100. This one's only out of 5. How many shaded parts? There's 4. If I write the fraction, that's going to be 4/5 shaded to unshaded. Or shaded to total, I'm sorry. Now they want us to turn it into a percent. Now I know normally we would do top dog in the house, and we'd add the decimal because it can't go in, and we'd say 8, and we subtract, and we get 0.8, and then we go boop, boop, and then we turn it into 80%. Awesome. Now there's an easier way to do this, and you can do this any number that can go into 100. So you can make a equivalent ratio, and because we know percents are always out of 100, 5 times what is 100? Well, 5 times 20 is 100. And whatever you do to the bottom, you also have to do to the top. 4 times 20 is going to be 80. Anything out of 100 is automatically a percent, so it's 80%. If you like this way, go ahead and do this way. If you like here, making the equivalent ratio, then do that. Both of them are okay. And you can do this also whenever you just need to take a fraction and turn it into a percent, as long as I'm not asking for the decimal answer. So you choose which option is best for you. I don't care. Whatever makes you happy. So I want you to pause. I want you to do the you try. So how many total parts? There's 5. How many shaded parts? 2. This would be 2/5. If you did the division, top dog in the house, so you get 0.4. Move 2, you get 40%. Or you can set this equal to a denominator of 100 times 20 times 20, because 5 times 20 is 100, and you still get 40 over 100, which is 40%. Okay, last page we're going to go over. I want you to pause. I want you to do numbers 1 through 6, and then I'll go over them when you are unpaused. So number 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, and this one's only out of 50. Change it to a denominator of 100. 50 times 2 is 100. 13 times 2 gives me 26, so it's 26%. 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 27 out of 100, automatically already out of 100, so 27%. This one, it says fill in the grid to show 45%. So this one you had to shade it. It's out of 100, so I can go 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this one, fill in the grid to show 8 over 10. Well, it's a 100 grid, so I need to change it to a denominator of 100. 10 times 10 is 100. 8 times 10 would be 80. So I'm going to shade in 80. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. That one was a tricky one. And then the last two, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 59 out of 100 because it's a 100 grid. Percent is 59%. Anything out of 100 is already a percentage. And then number 6 was an easy one. Fill in the grid to show half. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you could have taken this and changed it to a denominator of 10. 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 5 is 5. So I know I'm going to shade in 5. Or you could have just used your noggin and said, okay, well, I know that half of 10 is 5. Either way works. Whatever makes you happy. Make sure if you had any questions, you let your teacher know, especially with that ordering of the decimals, or if it's specifically about the percent grids.